welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, which is an unusual one for a couple of reasons. This puzzle on the screen is by James Sinclair. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, you will probably have watched only a couple of days ago I did a James Sinclair puzzle, which was a Rogan puzzle full of absolutely outrageous clues that were all lying to me. Well, today we're trying a James Sinclair puzzle called That's Redacted in the Corner. And apparently this puzzle, well, it's unusual. Firstly, you'll see most of the puzzle is covered in fog. So it's a fog of war puzzle, which are one of my favourite sort of innovations in Sudoku. But also, this is apparently a genuinely approachable fog of war puzzle. And the reason we're doing this is it's got an enormously high rating on Logic Masters Germany. It's incredibly popular. We've had it suggested to us umpteen times as being a brilliant variant Sudoku puzzle, which, you know, could attract a whole new audience to these wonderful Sudokus that we get to do every day. So that's hopefully what this video might do. Yeah, the puzzle apparently has a beautiful solve path while not being too complicated. So if you are new to variant Sudoku, do try and make time to try this, especially as it's fog of war, which is, I love this because basically the way this works is when you get a correct digit that's near the fog clears and reveals more of the puzzle to us. So this and the marble run that we did the other day by Zegres, I think are the two great innovations in Sudoku solving, where the solving on the computer really makes the experience happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this, and we'll give it a go in just a moment or two. The big news though, before we kick off, is that our Kickstarter campaign to make Cracking the Cryptic's Greatest Hits Volume 2, it now only has hours to go. It is counting down in hours. So if you want to grab a copy, the only way to do it is to join the Kickstarter. And we have this morning met the stretch goal, which will mean that I'm going to read viewer-selected poetry for those people who buy the book. So we're going to be making a poetry reading video, which I will really enjoy that actually. And we're within sight of committing to make Cracking the Cryptic's podcast season 2, which Mark and I would love to do. I know a lot of you have been keen to hear that. We were always unsure about whether we'd have enough things to talk about, but Peter, who we do the podcast with, he has lots and lots of topics for us to talk about. So if you'd like to see Cracking the Cryptic's podcast season 2 made, you know what to do. Please join the Kickstarter. There is very little time left. There should be a link on the screen right there. Now the other news is for our patrons over on Patreon. I have heard overnight from the mighty Fistamafel. Fistamafel has finished his Sudoku hunt, so I'm now very hopeful that there will be a Christmas present in the form of a Sudoku hunt made by Fistamafel for our patrons, and that is something we're really, well, I'm very excited to see it, especially as Fistamafel's email last night said that the final puzzle in the hunt he considers to be his best ever puzzle. So I don't know how hard it is, but that is praise indeed. So yeah, I'm excited to see that as well. Anyway, and also of course we've got the 12 Labours of Hercules Sudoku hunt, where you've still got 3 days to enter the competition, but the following people solved all of the puzzles in that hunt. So very well done to Stefan Winkle, Livy Roberts, Heiko Fettig, Brandon Crow, Erich Peterson, Amanda Berg, Andrew Cameron, Jed Brewer, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Byron Stuttervant, I think, Adam Gaffney, Aaron Spiller, Simon Lorin, Jason Wilcox, and Argyro Giacomakis. I'm going to guess that's how you say your name, Argyro. I hope I'm saying it right. And I hope I'm saying it right also because Argyro hails from the city of Heraklion, which is, I think, on the island of Crete. I think I have been to Heraklion, and Heraklion is, of course, named after Hercules. So it's serendipitous indeed that Argyro has solved the puzzle, showing not just the power of Hercules, but the mental power of the Greeks. Fantastic indeed. And, well, there's a couple of announcements as well. I want to say a very happy 9th anniversary to Stephen and Sophie. Sophie, we had a lovely email from you. I hope that you both enjoy your weekend in Bath celebrating. Bath is a beautiful city indeed. It's many years actually since I've been there, but it's a wonderful place to go. And Tammy, your husband David, told us that it's your birthday today. And I think that Tammy told us about David's birthday a few weeks ago. So I think the two of you are obviously watching Cracking the Cryptic. And I hope, Tammy, that you have a brilliant day today, replete with copious amounts of chocolate cake. Anyway, let's get on with That's Redacted in the Corner by James Sinclair and see what's going on in this puzzle. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The grid is covered with fog, except for 2 initial light sources, so that's going to be those. Digits also act as light sources, and when placed correctly, illuminate the cells around them. So if we got this digit, it would illuminate all of those cells. Do not cheat. This would be the temptation, is to just guess what this is, put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in. It will reveal what's in there, but it would be such a shame to do that. So the idea is, of course, that you use the logic in the white cells to get some white cells and gradually reveal the fog. And trust me, that is the way to do this puzzle. It will give you much more satisfaction. What else have we got for rules? We've got cages show their sums. And digits cannot repeat within a cage, so normal killer Sudoku rules. Digits on arrows sum to the digit in the connected circle and can repeat if allowed by other rules. So the trouble I'm going to have with this is demonstrating that rule. So there's going to be, I guess, arrows in this grid. So imagine there was an arrow that maybe I can show you with the pen drawing tool. Imagine there was something like this. Then what this would be saying is that this cell, and this cell, you add them up, and whatever the sum is, you put it in the circle, in the connected circle. So that's how arrows work, which is quite cool. I can show you that without actually entering any digits in. We've got green lines. There's definitely no green lines yet in the grid. Along green lines, digits must differ from their neighbours by at least 5. So let's try and see if I can do that again. Imagine there was a green line that looked like that. And let's say we knew that digit was a 2. Then this digit, I'm not going to put it in case this digit turns out to actually be a 7 in the finished solution. But this digit would have to be at least 5 different from 2. So it would have to be a 7, an 8 or a 9. So that's how green lines work. And imagine this was a 7, then this digit would have to be at least 5 different from 7, and it would therefore only have the option of being a 1, because it couldn't be a 2, because the 2 would already have gone in the box. So that's how green lines work. There are a couple more rules. Digits in cells with a grey square must be even. I'm guessing that these don't count as cells with grey squares, because otherwise there would be rather a lot of even digits in box 5, for example. And digits in cells separated by a black dot have a 1:2 ratio. So a 1:2 ratio is a complicated way of just saying that one digit is double the other. So one of those digits is double the other. There's all sorts of black dottage going on down there as well. So in that domino, one of those digits has to be double the other, etc. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking and see what James has got going on today. And I can fill in, I can fill in that cell, which is going to immediately reveal some fog. So I'm going to do that, because if you study this 6 cage here, you can see that it's not ending. There's no cage on the south side of this cell. So it's extending down to this cell. So these digits are all different digits, and therefore they must be the digits 1, 2, and 3. That's the only way of keeping three digits down to the value of 6. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. And 2 of those digits need to be in a 1-to-2 relationship. Well, they must be the digits 1 and 2. So that's got to be a 3. And look, that's just revealed this cell to us, which is not only a tip of an arrow, but also has to be in a 1 to 2 relationship with 3. Well, we can't write 1.5 into that cell, so that's going to be a 6. These two cells are a 1-2 pair, which means that cell must be a 3, I think, because 6, well, we can't add 6 to 4. Oh, unless we have 2-digit circle. Oh, ooh, that's a conundrum. So the instructions I've got say digits on arrows sum to the number in the connected circle. And I have seen puzzles, and I'm sure you have as well, where there's sort of 2 cells that make up the circle. But it's not really a circle, it's more of an ellipse. But it definitely says circle. I'm not sure. I'm going to presume that this is meant to be a 3. Yes. Okay, I'm relieved about that. That would have been a disaster if I'd sort of if I'd got something by cheating there, which I certainly didn't mean to do, but you can see, look, it is a circle, so it is a single digit total. So 6 plus 3 equals 9. 9 has got to be in one of these 2 cells now by Sudoku in box number 1. Okay, but how can we actually do anything else in these white cells? There's nothing else there. Okay, so we presumably have to use these white cells then. Yeah, well, yes, probably. I can certainly tell you something about the 14 cage. The 14 cage, both of its cells, look, are touching a black dot. Now, there are 2 ways to make 14 in 2 cells. You could have a 5 and a 9, or a 6 and an 8. Well, this can't be a 5-9 pair, because neither 5 nor 9 can ever go on a black dot in Sudoku. And that's because, imagine you try, yeah, I can put this as a 5 because it won't be correct and it won't reveal anything. If this is 5, this cell would have to be either a 10 or a 2.5, and that doesn't work. It's the same with 9. If that's a 9, this either has to be an 18 or a 4.5, and they don't work either. So this is a 6-8 pair. Now, yes, let's look down here, because there are 2 further black dotted cells here. So if this was 6, we can't make this 12, so this would have to be 3, but then this cell has no value, because if this is 3, this could be 6 again, but then there would be 2 6s in box 9, or it could be 1.5, and that is not a valid Sudoku digit. So that one's got to be 8, which is revealing some stuff. That's revealing some stuff. That's got to be 4, therefore, because it can't be 16. That's got to be 2, because it can't be another 8. That's got to be 3, because it can't be 12. That's got to be 3, because it's a 1-cell arrow. Look, I love the way this reveals itself. That's even, so I'm going to put that in. It's 2, 4, 6, and 8. Oh, okay. And that is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Trying to keep an eye on you. And I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, this is a 3 by Sudoku. There are 4 3s looking in there. So that's 3 in the corner. Oh, and there's a green line emerging from the fog. Oh, that's mighty powerful as well. Because, well, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the secrets of the green line. But a green line in Sudoku, this thing where we have to make sure each digit is 5 different from the next, that leads to 2 little conclusions. The first is you can never put 5 on the green line at all. Let me show you why. If you put 5 on it, what would this digit be? Well, it needs to be 5 different from 5, so it's either 0 or negative, or 10 or higher. They aren't valid Sudoku digits, so you can't put 5 on the line. But that means that when you do put a digit on the line, the next digits on the line have to be the other side of 5, so that the line oscillates. Sometimes we refer to it as having oscillating polarity. So the only 2 Sudoku digits that can go into those 2 squares are 8 and 9. If we're dealing with things that are 5 different at least from 3, and there's a 9 here. So that's 8. That's going to reveal more green line ending this is the end of the green line, so that's got to be 1 or 2. Again, it's got to be 5 different at least from 9. It can't be 3 or 4. So that's 1 or 2. This is also 1 or 2. It's got to be 5 different from 8, and it can't be 3. So there's now a 1-2 pair in this box, which I can't actually see how to resolve. Oh, I actually can now. Okay. The way to resolve this is to use our old friend Sudoku. There are some 6s looking into this box. So the only place 6 can go is here. And the moment you get 6 on a green line, there's only one digit that can accompany it. Its adjacent digit must be a 1, because we're looking for a digit 5 different from 6, and there is only one Sudoku digit that meets that criteria. So both of those become 1s, revealing more green line. That becomes a 2. So this cell, I suppose it could be an even digit. I'm not sure what other restriction could apply to it, but it's still hidden in the fog. Those squares are... No, they're I don't know what they are. They're 4, 5 and 7 by Sudoku. 9 is not there anymore, look. So that's a 9. 8 goes here by Sudoku. I'm being made to do Sudoku. It's outrageous. Oh, right, and those squares are 4, 5 and 7 as well. Just like so. Okay, so that's a 4, 5, 7 triple, and that's a 4, 5, 7 triple. So those squares have got to be 2 and 6, which is all very well, but we know nothing that's going to disambiguate that yet. It looks like at first blush we've got to continue wending our way down this line, so that's got to be a high digit, i.e. higher than 5, so that's 6, 7, 8 or 9, so that's a low digit again. I can't see how actually resolving any of these, which is a bit disconcerting. That's got to be high again, 6, 7, 8 or 9. And then I don't know if the line stops or it continues. Ah, that cell can't be a 4, because if that's a 4, both of those cells have to be a 9, because 9 is the only digit that can accompany 4 on one of these lines. Yeah, so I can't do that trick. I was going to say that can't be a 6, but that's not true. That could be a 6 if this green line ends in this position. So, okay, what on earth do I do now then? Oh, I see, it's Sudoku. Of course, it's always Sudoku whenever I get totally stuck. Right, that's got to be a 1, because that's the only place 1 can go in this box. These have got to be 5, 7, 9 now. So that square's become a 4, which didn't reveal any fog. It wasn't close enough to the fog that I want to remove. Those squares are 2 and 8, just to complete this column. These squares are 1, 4 and 9. And these squares are 5, 6 and 7. But this is all very well. It's not doing anything. Oh, I see. 3. Oh, so the 3s are really useful. Not only did they give me the 3 in the corner, they give me the 3 in this box now. Just Sudoku again. 3 is locked into that cell, and that is going to reveal that cell. So let's see what that gives us. Oh, it gives us some... Well, it does help with those 2 cells, because with the only digits that are valid digits that are 5 different from 3 are 8 and 9. So we know this is an 8-9 pair, which means that's not 8. 8 is... We've got this little arrangement of 8s here, which is quite powerful, because that means if we think about row 6 and R square 8 goes in it, it can't go in those 6 cells anymore, which means it must be in one of these 3 cells. In fact, it's not there either. So there's an 8 in one of these 2 cells. This has got to be a low digit, so that's got to be 1. Ah, okay, there's a small point about this cell. That can't be 4. Because remember, in fact I can put it in because it's not going to be right. If you put 4 on a green line, the next digit must always be a 9. So this would be a 9, but you can see the green line extends into the fog where that would be a 9 as well. You get 2 9s in row 5. So that's not right, which means that that is a 1 or a 2. which means this is a high digit and it's not 6 or 8, so that's 7 or 9. And, whoa, okay, so we've got some sort of arrow going into this cell and this cell with a very low number on it though, so that's not going to be terribly useful. Oh, it's 3 again. It's 3 again in here. Where does 3 go in this box? So this green line knocking 3 out of this cell forces 3 by Sudoku to be there. Oh, right, and that's a black dot. So the only black dot digit that goes with 3 is 6, which places my 8 using my pencil marks. That's beautiful. Where does 8 now go in this box? And the answer is not here. It looks like it might be able to go there from Sudoku, but of course it would be next to itself on a green line, definitely not 5 away from it in value. That can't be 8 by Sudoku, so 8 slips into the corner. 8 is in one of those 3 cells. We can still think about all the digits along here from a sort of oscillating polarity perspective. So let's do that. This digit is low, and it's not 3, and it's not 4 because 4 isn't far enough apart from 8. So that's a 1 or a 2. This digit is a 1, 2. Ah, only 1 or 2. It's not 3 by Sudoku. Can't be 4. It would be too close to 8. In fact, it's not 1 I've just seen by Sudoku. Make sure you scan across the whole row, Simon. That's a 1, 2 pair which is resolved. So 2 looks like it wants to go here, but I think it might be able to go here as well. I'm not sure. So let's check 3 again. 3, 3. Yeah, that's lovely. So actually this puzzle is so much about the 3s. It's not just that that's 3 in the corner. It's that 3 solves all the puzzle. Because look, can you put 3 there? No. Because if I put 3 there, it's the wrong polarity for the green line. This digit's going to be a low digit. That digit's going to be the high side of 5. So it's definitely not 3. That's got to be the 3. Revealing more green line. There are 4 3s looking at this box now, so that's got to be a 3, revealing more fog. So we've now the whole of the green line is revealed. Which I guess means that the polarity of this is low. It's on the low side of 5, and it sees 2, 3, and 4, so that must be a 1. The polarity of this is low, and it sees 3. Bobbins. Okay, that's 1, 2, or 4. Alright, let's do the high digits then. So they've got to be 6s. Let's put all the options in. 6, 7, 8, and 9 and see what we can eliminate. Well, that one is a 7. It sees 6, 8, and 9. So that's not a 7 anymore. This one is not 7, 8, or 6. So that is a 9. So that's not a 9 anymore. Right, this digit now can't be a 4. Well, it could never have been a 4 actually, because if it was a 4 you'd have had to put 2 9s into those cells. So that digit is just 1 or 2. That digit is not 8 or 9. So that digit is 5, 6 or 7, and of course all of those are available. And we've got a 1, 2 pair in column 4. And that digit can't be 8. 8 is far too high to be in a 1 to 2 relationship with a 1 or a 2. In fact, that can't be a 1, because that would have to be a 2. So that's a 2. And that's got rid of a little bit more fog. That can't be a 1, because it would clash here. So that must be a 4, getting rid of more. So I've done all the fog. Oh, it's a bit sad when you do all the fog in these puzzles. You sort of it's almost on Claire now. We've almost... Oh, that cell's quite interesting. Those 2 digits are the same number. Because if these were different, they'd be a 1 and a 2, and that would be a 3, and it would clash. Oh, that's gorgeous. So those 2 are the same. But bizarrely, I think both options are available. I hope it's double 1, because that just amuses me. The fact that you can have a double 1 2 arrow. You don't see many of those in Sudoku. 2. I do know that. Oh, well, no, that's done it. I've done it. This 2 here tells me that that's a 1. And we've just worked out this can't be a 3. So it is a double 1 arrow. Adding to 2. Which actually is going to give me a 2 up there. Look, so that's a 2, that's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 5, that's a 9, that's a 7. We don't have to worry so much about misclicking now, because it's only this cell that we could inadvertently reveal. Right, do I know what's going on over here? I think nearly, but maybe not precisely enough. So 4, 5, 7 and 9 into these squares. So that cell is only 5 or 7 because it sees 4 and 9 in the column. So that square is 4 or 9 and it can't be 9. So that becomes a 4, that becomes a 6, that becomes a 9. That reveals the last fog. So this is not 6 anymore. Right, so 6 has to go at the top there. This 1 reveals, well, doesn't, the 1 and the 4 can be placed. And can we do anything else simple here? Quite possibly. 1 by Sudoku goes there. This row needs 4 and 5 in it. The only place 4 can go is here, so that must be 5. That's a 6 by Sudoku. So those 2 squares are 8 and 9, which apparently is not yet revealed. And that means these 2 squares are 3 and... no, they're not 3 and 6, they're 6 and something. 6 and 5. Ah, there's a 6 right there. So that's 6, that's 5. I'm just staring to see if that reveals everything. That's not 7. That's not 4. So I've managed to get rid of 1 option from all of those cells, but that's not good enough. That's a 4 or a 5. Oh, the 9 here is helpful. Look, that's 7. So that's 7. That's 5. Where does 7 go in the middle box? It's got to go here. So that's 5. That's 8, I think. So where does 7 go in row 3? It's got to go there. 7, 5. That should be 5 now by Sudoku. These squares are 4 and 7, which is also resolved. And we've just got to figure out what's going on along here. That square's a 9. If you look at row 5, we've got 2, 8 and 9 to place, and this sees the 2 and the 8. So that's 9, that's 9, that's 8, that's 9, that's 8, that's 8, that's 2. And hopefully when we're almost home and dry, 2, 4, 5 along here. So that's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 7, that's a 4, and that should be a 2. What a lovely puzzle. Let's click tick. Oh, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm sorry, Dave. What have I got wrong? I can't let you do that. This puzzle doesn't conform to standard rules. The puzzle doesn't include a solution. Oh, no. What have I done wrong? I wonder. Have I... Oh no, it felt like it was correct. I don't know. Have I broken the rules of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I'm just... Alright, I'm now desperately scanning the grid to see what's gone wrong here. It felt logical, it really did. Maybe the puzzle doesn't like this double 1, 2 thing. Or maybe... I don't know. I'm baffled. I will have to pause, I'll have to stop the video, and in editing I don't know whether I'll resolve it, I don't know what I'll do, but I will try and establish whether this is the correct solution. I hope it is. If it's not, this video may never see the light of day, or you may see a cutscene now where I reappear and explain what mistake I've made. But it would be a disaster if this puzzle doesn't get seen, because it's absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. I loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I do enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.